Yeah. And it is literally broadcasting on all platforms here.
We live.
We are live.
We are live.
Yes, we are. Oh, yeah. So, what's going on, everybody? This is a coach's perspective coming to you again.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah.
Happy Sunday.
Happy
we
Sunday.
got it on public so we can be shared.
I'm doing it. I'm doing that right now, y'all.
Yeah, so we ain't got no restriction.
Right.
You know, this
There we
message
go.
needs to go far and fast and far.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
There you go.
Hey, okay.
About to take flight. About to take flight.
So let's go.
Let me get my. Y'all already got they mic. Let me get my mic going. Shoot. Y'all ain't saying
Okay, you gotta have the colors on. He gotta have his microphone on red, Keisha. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, cause I hate this button.
Ooh, okay, and it's touch.
Yeah. Look.
Word. Wow, mine don't do that.
Hey, but yours sound better than mine though. So.
Dang. Okay.
All
right.
There you go. Right
We
there.
in here.
How you feeling, Coach?
Man, it's a great day to be alive. I'm in this thing. I'm ready for tomorrow morning. I'm ready for just. Man, these push-ups ain't no joke. I ain't gonna lie. I missed the day. I'm so upset with myself. I missed the day.
You missed the day?
You almost two in a row.
I missed. No, I ain't missed 2 in a row. Like I missed the day, and I got missed next to it, and I was like, man, I don't know when I'm gonna make it up, but it's gonna hurt. That's 600.
But
you got
Now
it.
you gotta do 2 of them.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm making my adjustments real quick.
All right, 2 easy.
So I just made it public. There we go. All right, cool. Now we in it, y'all. So today's topic, man, we talking about love languages. And then with your love language, first of all, do you know your own love language?
Hey, you starting off too far. Yeah, you starting off. Hey,
do you know what your love language
Y'all,
is?
you coaches better know they love language. What you mean?
I'm telling you.
And then
is that a question?
And then well, to the audience, the audience may
Tell us
not
your
know.
love language.
The audience may not know their love language, y'all. The audience, some of the people in the audience may not know their love language.
Hey, you right.
So,
you
I
right.
forgot. We got an audience. You right.
We gotta cover everybody.
You right.
We gotta cover everybody.
Tell us your love language. Tell us if you know your love language. Tell us your love language, or tell us all of them. If you really about that life, you would name all of them.
In order, from 1 to 5.
You say you looking for a mate, right? You say you looking for somebody, but you don't know how they gonna love you when they get to you.
Here we go.
That's important right there. Now,
I want
y'all to get this now, okay? I want y'all to get it, okay? And my dear, I want y'all to get it, okay?
How you do? Retribution. How you do?
How you do? But yeah,
you got a boyfriend there. What you do now?
So man, with that whole love language thing, I had a conversation and it was talking about love languages, and I was like, man, you know what? Your love languages can probably change depending on where you are in life and then the relationship that you're in. And so I just posed the question to the coaches, and they was like, oh. And then Coach AJ, she biting her tongue. She's like,
she ready.
She about to be like, man, I'm about to go in on these jokers right now. They about to get it. She about to shoot like 50 million shots.
All net.
Bottoms, baby. Okay, so go ahead, Coach. I'll let go ahead.
You want me to kick it off? Okay. I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna tell you what the love languages are. And I'm gonna tell you what mine is. This is not the secret to Coach AJ. This is not a recruiting, a cat call, a cougar call. This ain't none of that.
Hey, she gotta put that out there. Hey, I'm glad she put that out there.
I got a recipe. I speak several languages, right?
Inboxes will be crazy.
I speak several languages, like we speak
I'm glad
Espanol.
you put it out there, though.
Yeah.
I'm not putting my love languages out there because I want some of y'all to give me your love languages like that.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, and if you know them, you will be able to recognize them through conversation, right? Because all languages is a vehicle for your expression. That's it. It's a vehicle.
Before you get started, I know you about to go in. I want to give everybody that's listening right now, for people that rock with us that know us, I want to just see if they know our love languages. I just posted it in the chat.
Somebody said they can guess mine. What's mine? Somebody said they can guess mine. I want
to see what the people gonna put, because you gotta remember this. Even though we doing this for the people make what we're doing. So I just want to engage real quick. Just give them, I feel that 3 minutes. Give them 3 minutes to see, because they may think they know our love language.
I like that
because of how we act and how we doing things and how we're out here helping people. And may not really know.
Surprised. I think they're gonna have me messed up, Keisha. I think they're gonna have me messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because mine changed. Mine changed. Ooh. But I can still come off as I like this, but I speak other languages, right? I got a dominant language. Dominant language, right? But I understand it's situational, so I can speak all of the languages authentically, right? I can speak them all authentically.
On the chat, let's see.
One is physical touch.
Ooh, right. See, don't make that face. Don't you say nothing.
I ain't saying no,
sit on your hands. Sit on your hands. Sit on your hands.
I ain't saying no, nothing, y'all.
Right, because we all got all of them. Remember, we speak all the languages. It's about which one dominates. This is not about we got and then guess what? The audience is gonna show us they love language by how they answer this question.
Let's go.
Sometimes we can tell what your love language is, you know what I'm saying? By
let's go.
Okay, so
all right, go ahead.
So, and I know somebody's already put it out there. You already know. If you don't know your love language, we're gonna give you free game. Go to 5lovelanguages.com. Go on and hit my man's site. It's free to take it. You get the results in 5 minutes. And shame on you. No, I ain't gonna shame them. But if you got a partner, you've been in a relationship, you've been married, you better go do that right now, this Sunday, right now. Okay, right now, go do
right
it
now, right now.
All right, because you can pay us later. Okay, you can pay us later. All right.
Thanks.
I promise you, come back and get the assessment. I'll really take you over to languages go. So, all right. So first thing is I started studying this years ago. This is when I was trying to figure out men, Willie. I was like, I need to see the answer to men. So I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. I learned the languages because I was like, I need to know how this goes. Love language. That was my language. Love. That's what I thought.
Now see, but now what was it? Because men were the victims or
it don't even matter, bro. Let her finish.
I felt like it was because I felt like either I was misunderstood or I was misunderstanding something.
Okay, that's there you go.
So I became very like I got C mentality. So I'm like I'm investigative. I'm like, okay, I got to figure out if I'm speaking the right language and if I'm being effective. I'm more like, can I get through? Can I get through your thinking down into your heart and soul? That's what I was thinking, right? So I didn't know nothing about no love language. That took after some mistakes, you start looking for the solution. So all right, so when I first came across them, took the test, you know what I'm saying? It came from the Life book. Life book led me to 5 love languages because I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know what my relationship health is like because I don't know the language. So the first one was physical touch, I think. Physical touch. Words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, and gifts. Okay, now and I'm gonna confess, Willie, I start studying and I start using these as cheat codes, right? Because I feel like, and every woman, I'm gonna just say this because us women. And I've been single a long time, so if this don't apply to you, just let it fly, right? But I've been single long enough, Lakeisha, people that have been in a relationship, been out, been in, been out, and I've been single observing this whole time and learning this whole time. So I used to use these things. I didn't know it unconsciously to, keep up with the Joneses, meaning I'm going to give you gifts or I'm going to give you things that I know you need, that I know you like, that they want. So whether it's physical touch, sex, cuddling, Netflix and chill. You know how y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Physical touch, gestures, and we talk about non-physical communication too with body language. That is considered physical touch in a sense. You don't have to physically touch someone to physically touch someone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Facts.
Well, yeah, no doubt.
So let's be clear, women. Let's be clear. Same thing with you fellas. You know, let's be clear. Is we can see things better than we've ever seen them before. So I started using this. One, I started using it for the wrong way. It's like, first, I use it to learn other people. I didn't learn myself. So mine back then, words of affirmation, because I'm Flamingo, I'm a people person, and words get me going. It's like every woman wants that, you know, whisper sweet nothings in my ear, Willie. Just write me poetry and you know,
that French,
nice.
You want that French? Come over.
Yeah, that was in my younger days. That was my younger days, and then you know. You kind of grow and you realize that words is just these are just languages that doesn't really, like you said, it's like, why do I desire this thing? So I'll let you take it from here, Willie, because I used it, I learned them, and let's be real. Use them to my advantage, not for myself.
See,
for what I wanted.
We can't get in that yet. We gotta.
So I'm gonna let you take it from here.
We gonna go there. That's
because I got a couple questions.
We gonna pass the ball.
I got a couple questions.
You want to go? You want me to go?
No. Oh yeah, you can go ahead. I'll go last.
All right. So mine are words of affirmation and physical touch. That's my first two. And for me, words of affirmation works hand in hand because not only, and it's not that I need kudos, it's just good, like Coach AJ said, to know that you are recognizing what I need by words, not is you doing good, not a high five buddy. It's just words for me is acknowledgement. Like that's words for me. So it's acknowledgement, which activates for some men, you know, a physical touch, because most men, like I said, they think physical touch is their first thing because of human nature. That's what they've always done and things of that nature. Because like I said, when I first learned about these, I was like instantly physical touch, and I realized like, no, it's not. Like that's what I've been doing to think that it's physical touch, because once I learned them, I was able to, like I said, manipulate the game to be like, oh, she like gifts. Oh, she like physical touch. Oh, she like words of affirmation. I'm gonna get them sweet nothings to get the thing that I thought was my love language, and it wasn't. It was just an act. You see what I'm saying? So it was just like mind blowing to know now I have them all lined up to where this is a huge topic, because when you're talking to someone and you're getting to know someone off the rip, if your first two are not intangible with each other, it's going to be a long ride, because somehow we've connected ourselves to where gifts find its way at the very bottom, only because we've gotten to this thing to where we do so much giving, we don't know how to receive. So we think receiving something is like it's like a non-tangible thing, but it's like, no, somebody should be able to know your physical, not your physical language, your love language, to say, hey, I'm giving this because of love. Because like I said, to give love, to receive love, you got to give something up. Like we can talk biblical. God loved us so much, he gave. So the fact that if I'm giving a gift, we've gotten to the point to where somebody give flowers or roses or something, this is like, oh, like we got to look what you did wrong. Like, dang, I can't give you flowers just because. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just do a act of service just because. So for me, I'm saying words of affirmation, physical touch. Then I'll go with quality time. Then I'll go with acts of service, and then gifts. Like I said,
everybody put them in order like Willie just did. Everybody put them in order. When y'all two go, put them in order just like Willie. Thank you, Willie. Put them in order. I didn't. I'm gonna go after y'all. We already in rotation. So Willie, thank you for doing that. I need to know all of them in order from 1 to 5, and I need the audience to do the same thing.
Words of affirmation, physical touch. Like I said, acts of service. No, quality time. QT, quality time. And then I have my acts of service. and then gifts. So right there, that should tell you instantly. Like if you know these things, and anybody that's just like, you know what I'm saying, if yours is quality time, let's just say for example, Coach AJ's on his quality time and gifts. Let's just say that's her too. And out the gate, mine is words of affirmation and physical touch. Like right there, we already at a loss because
that's your situation.
She's not going to give me words of affirmation because she's trying to receive quality time. Like you see what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to spend time. And like I said, quality time is number 4 on my list.
Mm-hmm.
So number 3 on my list. So it's like I ain't even really thinking about it, but that's what she needs. We're gonna
dig into that. We're gonna dig into the mismatch. We're gonna dig into the mismatch. We're gonna dig into the mismatch. Come on, Coach, what you got?
For me, mine changed, but right now and where I am, quality time, physical touch, affirmation, acts of service, and then gifts. And because for me, mine is flip-flop because I do the opposite. As a coach, you know, as a wife, spouse, friend, whatever, I give gifts all the time, and I also give my services. So because I give so much of those, it's harder for me to receive them. So they end up at the bottom of my list because I don't have to have that. But I have to have quality time. I have to have physical touch, and I have to have that affirmation. So for me, that's where I am right now. And I didn't start off like that years ago. So they can't change.
Okay.
That's
I need
good.
one more time. I ain't gonna lie. I need just one more time.
Quality
In that
time.
order. All right.
In that order. Quality time, physical touch, affirmation, acts of service, and gifts.
Got you.
Uh-oh.
What you got, Coach Royce?
Yeah. I gotta go.
Drum roll.
Yes, sir. You gotta go. It's your turn in the class. Stand up, turn in the class. Come on with it.
Man. So
in that order.
In my order. Dang, y'all.
In that order.
So physical touch.
Ooh.
Numero uno. Yeah, and with that, I'm just that type of person. Now, I have grown in that. I have disciplined myself to the point where I want physical touch, but in the right context and environment, in the right time, all of that stuff. Like I'm not about to just settle just because I want physical touch. So I've developed a level of self-discipline when it comes to that. To where
I'm sorry.
I want it.
I gotta give it up for you right now, bro.
Yeah, I mean
that's huge. That's huge, bro.
It's the relationship. I want the connection. Give me the connection, man. The touch is gonna come, and I know that we'll be there, but I want the relationship first. So okay,
right. That quality time is first.
Come on. It sounds like it's changing. It sounds like it's changing.
So that's quality time and then physical touch. I'm telling you from experience, it's gonna change.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, I think they go about hand in hand. I think quality time and physical touch because it's intimate, and then we can get more into that too.
Yeah, we're gonna go deep. We got
so my next one is like acts of service, and I say acts of service because I'm always the one that's giving to someone else. I'm always giving, and so it's nice to receive a little something. You know what I mean? Yeah. That. Number 3 is words of affirmation. That's I like that. And then number 4, quality time, and in the sense of quality time, I want valuable time, like concentrated time.
Come on, bro.
Concentrated time, whereas there's no distractions, things like that. You know what I'm saying? No, because I can have your time. I can have your time, but ain't no quality in that time.
He in there.
Ain't no quality in that time. So I'm like, okay, I'm
get you mentally.
And then receiving gifts is the last one. Like, man, I don't care nothing about that. I don't care. I can buy myself. You can't buy me none. I can't buy myself.
What if it ain't bought? What if the gift is created and it's not bought though?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
As long as it's on the list, no matter what, it's just on the bottom of the list. So it don't. All of us want each of them. That's the whole point. We can all find reasons to have each of them. So, Royce, dang, yours about is similar to mine because you think the way I do. You think the way I do.
Great minds.
Great minds think alike. You know, and that's probably why we both single right now, Willie. You know what I'm saying? But be that as it may.
It's all gravy, though. It's all gravy, baby.
No. Because we right now in this space,
we choose to be.
We choose to be. That's why I'm saying this is like you said, because what you said first was a physical touch. Physical touch got me into a lot of trouble. That's why I have kids and I wasn't married. I got married first, didn't have no kids with him, and then had kids after I got divorced. So whatever. Obviously, physical touch can go. You can get into marriage because of physical touch. And you can get out of one and still be married.
Still want the physical touch.
Okay. So physical touch is not my first one anymore. It used to be. Now it is acts of service. Acts of service.
I knew it.
And that's probably why I'm a coach now, because actions definitely speak louder than touch and words. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So words about acts of service. Dang, I almost forgot the love languages. Acts of service.
Not your preference. Not your preference. Don't tap into their preference. Tap into what you
man. I'm not. My C is risen right now.
I'm about to say quality time.
And you're right, Coach. You know me. Quality time is second, and this is something I struggle with. This is something I struggle with because I didn't want to be by myself. So when I say quality time, I mean quality time with myself and quality time with a partner. Don't always have to be intimate. But quality time with a partner, I think, is like what you said, Royce, about value, like the value part of it. So, so we got acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation. That's third.
That's the third.
Where's that?
Because I believe in the power of words, and not just for the sake of words, but the power behind the words and the intention behind the words. So my camera's about to flick off.
That reminds you of that old TV
show. Okay, words of affirmation. What's the other one? Gifts is last.
Gifts is last.
Physical touch is high. And like I said, I speak all the languages. I love all of the languages. I absolutely love them all. But I also know the needs are what drives the languages. And also, like you said, it just depends on the partner as well. It depends on, because most of these people, Willie, they never see me express all of my love languages. You'll never see it.
And that's why I asked.
Because there's a proper context to it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's why I asked everybody to kind of put in there what they think that our love languages was, because it probably come off how we act. Like I can be, in this area and not show you that, but really, I love quality time. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I'll be so, I ain't got time, but I use me being so busy because I want quality time.
Okay. So question here. We're about to get in this joker. So is your love language driven by manipulation? And has it been in the past?
Yes, for me. I'll leave it short. Go ahead, Willie.
No, I mean, driven by me. I would say yeah, because it's like for me, mine never changed. Mine never changed because it's not a preference. It's always been that's what they were. Yes, they get old, but for me, they don't have to change because I value each one differently, but they stay not interchangeable. Like it's and that's okay for me. Everybody else, like that's why I love this topic, because it's not a right or wrong. And it's like, hey, just because.
But if you use them to manipulate, it is something wrong with that now. It is. You can answer this, Willie. Have you used one or more of, and this is for everybody in the audience. I want you to keep it real funky right now. Have you used one or more of these to manipulate someone, or to affirm yourself, or to affirm or try to commit to a relationship? Or friendship, or trying to get hired. I'm hearing people buy relationships to get networking. So just keep it real. If you've used one of these as an advantage because it's about intention. The language is the language. It's all about the energy behind why you use what you use.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
I have, and I did it before I even knew what these even was.
Which ones you like use? Give me your top two you use to manipulate. Mine was physical touch.
Mine was physical
and words
touch.
of affirmation. Mine was words of affirmation and physical touch.
No, I don't know. I mean, it depends. I think it depends. It depends on the person you're dealing with. Because if I knew with somebody that they needed quality time, I would give them the time and physical touch because that's what they needed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew what they needed before to give them. Say, hey, okay, this person needs. Gifts.
Oh, you like Mystique then from X-Men? You like confused?
Hey, I'm just being 100. That's how I was.
So he's saying he used all 5, y'all. He's saying he used every one.
Doing whatever I could. I was as a coach. I was studying the game. I was looking at the game.
So look, let's keep it real now. Everybody in the audience, because this is you said you used it before you knew. So Coach Royce, Coach Keisha. Which ones have y'all used? And to their advantage, we talking about, and not in a good way. We talking about not in a good way. We talking about to your advantage and selfishly.
Yeah. So
me would be
go ahead.
Touch and gifts. Mine not in a good way would be physical touch and gifts, hands down.
Physical touch.
Stuff.
Okay.
What you got, Royce?
So mine was physical touch and words of manipulation.
Dang, not words of manipulation. God dang it, Royce. Come on, bro.
Listen. One thing about me is I'm going to keep it real. Other people can get on here and act like they just
that's why they ain't
picture here, perfect and stuff like that. Like y'all ain't never done that. I'm gonna give it to you real because why? Because I've changed.
There you go.
Facts.
That's the key. Because I've changed. I'm not that same person. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
That's not what I do now. That's not who I am now. That's what I used to. So I can speak on it.
Come on.
And I can speak with authority on that thing. And I can speak with power. Why? Because I'm not that same dude.
Come on, bro.
So let me ask you this, Coach. Now we can circle back around because we just said how we use them negatively. Now, Coach, starting with you, we can go back in the same order. What changed you from abusing that gift? Because somebody said they're all of these languages are gifts. All of them. They're a gift. Like I said, they're the vehicle. What made you change it from using it to manipulate in order? And what made you change your intention? Because that's really what changed.
So, and that was my next question. My next question was, did you, or was it driven by past hurts? And mine was driven by a past hurt.
Yeah, mine was too.
And I was in a relationship where it was physically, mentally, it was an abusive relationship where I didn't give myself enough time to heal afterwards, or the opportunity to heal afterwards. So that was part of why I used what I used in the way that I used it.
Like I said, for me, I didn't even know I was using them. I didn't know I was even using them until I scanned the scene. I was like, man, I'm really using them to. So anyway, long story short, for me to change, it was just saying, hey, stop, forget about yourself. Like, forget about myself. I was able to say, hey, I'm going to meet someone else's needs versus mine. And when I realized that, that's what gave me, okay, now let me listen to understand. Now let me, seek to find. I wasn't seeking, I was searching. I was after. So when I changed, it was like, okay, I'm going to forget about being selfish. I was at the time because I was trying to fill a void that nobody can feel through my past hurts, that, I was going to make that void valid by doing what I wanted to do, regardless of how you felt about it, what you thought about it. I'm pleasing myself, so that's what, for me, that's what flipped and made me change. And that's why I like to speak with authority, to know who I am, regardless of what people think or say. I know who I am, and mine stayed the way they was because of. Go ahead, Keish.
For me, mine changed because dealing with a narcissist, it makes you change. Not only do it force you to do certain things, but it also helps you to see you differently. So mine changed because it hurt, and I didn't realize what I was doing could have possibly hurt someone else. And so when the shoe on the other foot, you'll change a whole bunch of stuff quick. So I was able to reevaluate not only my own pain, but possibly pain that I was inflicting on others. And so that's how mine ended up changing.
Ooh, I'm next. Okay. That's good. I feel like everything that y'all just said, and I'm thinking of, man, I used to be pretty bad when it came to words, because that's always been my power. And I think a lot of women too, that's always been our power, is to express ourselves through words. And we can talk and convince and persuade and influence. And I guess I never thought of it as manipulation or that I was using it that way. It was just about what I thought was right, what I thought was the right thing. So I guess once I discovered that me going about it the way I was going about it was harming myself, I guess I didn't realize my intention. And like Ashley said, you don't know that you're doing these things and why. And that's when you kind of remember, like, I'm under some type of program or some type of past experience that's driving this, and it's because I'm scared of something. I'm trying to control something. I think that's a fear. Like Napoleon Hill talks about the 6 greatest fears, and the loss of love is one of them. So I think that's what the critical thing about the love language is. We're anticipating, and we use these to get love. And what I realize is that if you don't use these on yourself, then you can't be successful using this language to get anybody or anything. And you won't keep it. You can get it. You can get the sex. You can get in the situation. You can move in. You can get married even. But you won't be able to sustain it, because at the end of the day, like you said, Willie, it really becomes a really clear about why you speak the way you do. And is it working for me or not? And is my intention right or not? Why am I speaking Spanish? You know, why am I speaking Spanish? If I'm living a house where it's necessary, great. But I don't need to be speaking as trying to convince everybody to speak Spanish. You know, that's what I was doing. I'm like, you need to learn Espanol. You know, you need to hablo Espanol. You need to speak that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not that. It's not that way. And that's what I think we want. I learned that you want people to do, and I wanted words because I gave them. I wanted physical touch because I gave it, and you kind of learn, okay, where it comes from. So a lot of it, physical touch, was inspired by being molested. You start to crave things because, you know, your body betrays you. Like Tyler Perry, I think he said it best. He said, you know, when he was touched by a man, he said, you know, when he became aroused, his explanation was, my body betrayed me. And that's when the body starts doing things based on what somebody triggered in me. And
that's good.
This is what I started to yearn. This is what I started to yearn for. And, you know, people can laugh and people be like, oh, she got pregnant all these times without this. You have no idea the demons and the things that people have to overcome just to be sane, and to not, you don't know how many times I had to lay on an abortion table for the sake of not dealing with why I had an issue, why I was, you know, allowing myself to be consumed by my language. So it's layers to it, but it really starts at self-awareness and understanding like what the languages are. Like you said, why do I speak them? And then am I abusing the language? Because everything, you know, ain't nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. And I think thinking is the intention and the energy. And I think that there's nothing wrong with it. Like you said, Willie, it's nothing wrong with none of these languages, but you have to know where they come from and what they mean, most importantly, because we say a lot of things, we don't know what they mean. You know, we don't understand legalese. Like when you go to court, that's a whole new language. It's called legalese. That's why if you just start talking, they don't have to respect it. It's a structure of talking. So I think love has layers to it. And I think we should all literally partake in every language authentically with great intentions, so we can receive things different and receive great blessings in a different way, because we've extended ourselves to learn and understand the languages and where they come from.
Hey, and along with that same thing, so first of all, you know, knowing your love language, and then knowing why you have that love language, and then what's driving that love language. Is it hurt? Is it manipulation? Is it something that happened in your past? Right? And so when you learn what drives that love language, now you can say, okay, should this be a primary love language or should it be a secondary? Like, where does it fall on my priority list? Like having that understanding. Why? Because this is a part of, first of all, like you said, relating to you. I need to know me. Okay, why do I want physical touch? Why do I want gifts? Why do I want quality time? Why do I want words of affirmation? You see what I'm saying? And when you know that about you now, okay, this is why I'm needing that. And then now you can figure out, okay, is this a deficit? Is this something that came from some trauma? Did it come from something that I experienced where it was negative versus a positive experience versus, okay, physical touch can come from, okay, well, when I was little, my mom used to always cuddle me. She used to always hold me. And so I value that in a sense. Now, okay, so that's a positive way, right? Right. And then a negative way could be like, well, I lack that. I didn't have that. So we want to ask ourselves these questions. Why? Because that's discovering you. That's awareness. That's consciousness. And we didn't ask ourselves these questions. Like, I didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up asking myself what any of this stuff was. But it was because I wanted to learn more about me. I wanted to learn more about why I keep repeating the same behaviors over and over again. Now, okay, you know what? I need to fix this. I'm at a stage in my life where I want change, and change requires change.
Facts. And let me just say this too before you go on to your next point. Like, we were taught what to think, not how to think. I think that needs to be something that we really think about very, very strongly, especially what's going on in the world today. Right now, it's so important that you understand that you were told what to think about everything. And it's a reason why you're not taught to think how. You're not taught to think about how you think and why you think. And this needs to be something that we all do, not just for love's sake, for relationship, for the world's sake, for relationships, because the biggest issue right now in the world is communication. It's being manipulated. And if you are not aware, like us, you're going to find yourself in situations that you should not be in. You know, and it's not like we're perfect. We're not trying to just avoid mistakes. We're trying to master what we don't know. Like, we're trying to master our emotions, most importantly, and it comes through language. So think very, very, very hard about this. What have I been told, and do I understand why I do what I do? So I've been told what to think, but I haven't been taught how to think. And this is why life coaching is even a business. This is why consulting and mentoring is even a business, and it's necessary for survival right now. Because if you don't understand this, you're going to be like how I was. You're going to find yourself pregnant in a situation you shouldn't be in. You're going to find yourself in an abortion clinic. You know, you're going to find yourself in a situation that you're not happy with, and in a job that you're not happy with, because like you said, I'm trying to please something based on something I never questioned. I've never questioned why I want to be loved this way. And am I overusing, my desires? Because all desires can become lust. Every single desire we have, whether it be good or bad, is lust. Because now I'm thinking what I'm lacking. Because that's what you said, Royce. As soon as I start thinking I lack this, I feel like that's the devil's play place, because he's starting to straddle the fence between what you think you need and what you already have. And you just don't understand what you have yet. Meaning that I don't have love the way I want because I don't understand the layers of love, the language of love. And the only way I can find is through self-awareness and understanding how to communicate that based on what I know and how I think now about what I know.
Okay, so and that's the question. So, with your love language, is it driven by fear? Is it driven by hurt or pain? Or is it driven by something positive?
It can be driven by all the above.
I think that goes by what level you're on. Yeah.
I say the level
whatever level you're on. Because like when you begin to love yourself and know yourself and the things that you're lacking, you will feel those things. What we have been taught is that we have to have someone else fill those voids. Those voids will forever be needing to be filled until we do them for ourselves. We have to love ourselves. So each one of these, we have to be able to perform those for ourselves. And so whatever level you're on, when you discover yourself and love you, really, those can get switched around all the way, because you know yourself and you know that you can provide those for yourself anyhow. But wherever you are will drive why you're doing what you're doing. So I think to answer the question is whatever level you are, what stages you are in your life at that time.
Okay, somebody put in there that my love, or Ariel, I think it is, my love language are driven by my pain, the pain from my past.
Yeah, that's
so Ashley. I mean, Ashley, or yeah, Coach Willie, y'all want to speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, when you can make a decision that is right for you when you are in a painful state of mind. Like, nobody can say I made the best decision while I was hurt. Like, when you're hurt, that's driving why you're doing what you're doing. That's why sometimes it takes you going into say, hey, I need to be stripped from everything, not be engaged, not talking, not pursuing, not seeking, go to a place to where, like I said, the most time I've had with myself to be able to just sit back and say, hey, I know who I am. I know what my standards are. I know what I value. So now when I go out and I'm speaking to someone, talking to someone, I'm not coming from a place of hurt. It's genuine. It's not pain. It's not frustration. It's I got rid of all those things while I was focusing on myself to be able to give myself to someone to be able to receive me. There's been times I wouldn't even date myself. I'm like, I'm not dating you. Like I wouldn't even date myself, but yet I would have the expectation that other people should date me or talk to me because of what my expectation was somebody else. So when you in pain, trust me, I know all about that. Because like I said, when I was molested myself, like it blew my mind after I realized after all these years, that was driving me for everything and people I was talking to, because no one would say I was a bad person. It was just I sucked at, they said, communicating, because I was easy doing the physical touch. But when you wanted to talk about it, I couldn't even find words to be like, nope, I'm gonna be busy. Quality time, nope, don't want to do that. You want something? I get you some gifts. You want something? Go buy you something. Like what you want? Like I kept myself, and I was just going down this rabbit hole and couldn't understand like why is it that. And then it was so I'm talking about it was so easy to where I would be like this one on Monday, and then like within a 24-hour period, got this one on Tuesday, and then it was just like, okay, like this is normal, like this is, but it dawned on me because it said I was trying to fill a void from pain. Like I hurt. I mean, I was definitely hurt to even know that I was treating people the way that I was, and that's wanted to be treated. But because I felt that that's how they needed to be treated because of my pain, I'm like, okay, because it was easy for me, Royce. It was easy for me to go find other women that was in pain, because why? We can relate to that, and then now that you in pain, I'm in pain. I'm gonna use that pain to fulfill my pain. So
that's good. I would say this, and this, all right, you know I love you, and I'm telling you that all of these languages are energy. Okay. And when you say pain, it's a choice. Like pain can drive you. This is where you turn your pain into purpose. And it's really about the intention, because the same way the pain can drive you and because pain is a thought, and thought is energy. And then the language is the vehicle in which we express it, or we want to receive it, however it may go. So the good thing about Ari saying that is now you know what's driving the energy right now. You know what's driving it. Right. So that's the blessing right now, is that all of us that didn't know, we know right now. So because you can't fix something that you can't see. And at the end of the day, this is why assessing is so important, because you can go through the same movie 100 times and still miss a part. You can still take it a different way. So don't ever get tired of looking at your assessment, going back over and asking yourself the redundant question, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why do I feel this way? People think the basics get old. They never get old if you want to be sweet. They don't get old. They never get old. So I got to run through the love languages. Check. If I'm feeling any emotional pull, Royce, I'm checking myself because I'm like, what is tugging at me? What are you desiring that you want someone to give you? Because now I'm giving my power away. What the vehicle, which is the language, is making me give it away. All for a language is not worth it. I think once you become aware, you realize that no language is worth you being driven by that language. I don't care if it's quality time. I don't care if it's conversation. Can't nobody drive you with what you like. Let's get out of that, because when people know what you like, then you are accessible to being manipulated.
Yep.
Not just with others, but yourself. You start to manipulate yourself. You start to tell yourself, I don't get words of affirmation. Nobody supports me. It's probably because I'm not worth nothing. Maybe I'm not smart enough, or maybe I don't deserve to be in a relationship, or maybe I'm not good enough. This is self-sabotage through love languages. Understand this. This is way deeper than you trying to figure out how to make sure this works right and make sure I talk right, act right, do right. This is something you have to become. You got to get so fluent with these languages that you don't have to think about it. And you don't have to think about it, meaning that I can no longer be manipulated with any need or any language. I know them all, and you cannot use them against me. And I think we all got to take pride in that, because we love relationships and we sure do love, but we love people to do it for us. That's the thing. So make sure you speak in the languages and master them with yourself, because you got to write out the letters when you learn arithmetic. Like you got to write out the letters A, B, C, D. You don't start spelling words right away. You start with words, sounds. I'm in kindergarten now, Lakeisha. So we start with words and then the sounds and then the vowels. So this is language. Yeah. And like you said, Royce, we got to go back and see why we speak these languages, and are they driving us? Because if they are, that means that my emotions, which are not reliable, because like TJ always says, when emotion is high, reason is low. That means I'm not thinking no more. You see the country and the world, if you turn on the news and you feel triggered, oh, somebody is playing with your emotions, Smokey. You know what I'm saying? Somebody playing with your emotions. Don't do it, Big Perm. Don't do it.
Don't do it. And piggybacking on what you said, first thing, feelings aren't facts, right? And we know that. So pain or anger. So think of it as a tree. So pain and anger is a primary thing, but beneath that you have the root, and the root of that pain or the root of that anger is something different. So it's a secondary emotion or a secondary feeling that is caused by something else. So that hurt or that pain or that anger is caused by something else. So you have to figure out what's the root of that thing, and you need to pull it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
And then okay, Will, Coach Will.
Yeah, I was seeing in the comments somebody asked how do we identify our love languages? And I think to really identify your love language is to really focus on your value system. Like what do you value? Like when you know what you value, you won't have to, like she said, you won't have to manipulate yourself, because you know now I've created my value system to what I need. So that way it's easier for you to give it than receive it. And that's why if you notice, if anybody notice, each and every last one of us, all of our fifth one is just because, you know, like she said earlier, she was like, what if somebody make you something that was, you know, they top thing to give, and they first one is, if you value that, and I know that you value making that, I won't make you feel, I can't make you feel anyway, but I would give you to say, oh, now that you did that, I'm going to acknowledge that that was valuable. Because what happens is sometimes we want people to value something the way that we, and it doesn't always work that way. Take your kids, for example. You can take your kid and buy them something that costs, you know, $1,000 or $500. Treat it just as well as something that costs $200, or you take them to the dollar store and you be like, wait, like stop, like don't use that, because you value that more than y'all know we got the mamas that you come in the front room and the plastic on it and ain't nobody never sat on it, and it's been like almost 30 years, ain't nobody sat on this with plastic. Why you still got plastic on that? Because they value that. So I would say to identify your love language is knowing what you value, and it's knowing what you're not going to accept and what you will accept, and then putting that in order to be able to say, hey, these are my 5.
Or take the assessment and then go to the 5lovelanguages.com. That's a quick way. And then, you know, one of these coaches up here love to help you figure that out, because that's what we do. So I agree. Good question. Good question. Good question.
And so each of us, so with those 5 love languages, right, you have some deeper personality traits that go with that. So me being a high I, you know, and wanting that physical touch, you know, I'm all about people and contacts. So understanding your personality is another level or another way of getting to know you. And again, we weren't taught any of this stuff. And so, and that's not your fault. But so now you know, now that you do know, now you can grow. All right. Now that you know, you can grow. And that's what we want. That's what we want to do. Each of us are coaches. Each of us offer the assessment. We can help you. And we're also working on collaborating, whereas all of us get on here and we'll be able to knock some stuff out for you. But yeah, just the love languages, knowing why you have these love languages. What are they driven by? Right? Is it from hurt? Is it from pain? Is it from fear? Or is it from something that's positive? You want it to come from something positive versus coming from something negative, because if it's coming from something negative, then that's control. And Coach AJ just said it, right? And that's energy, right? That's energy that you're giving off. That's energy that you're giving up. You want to keep all of that. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want someone else in charge of your energy. Right? That's like, you know, we have to pay your energy bill every month, right? Because someone else is in charge of our energy bill. You want to be in charge of your own energy bill. You pay your own bill. You are your own source.
Turn that light off.
And when you are your own source, you don't need nobody else, so to speak. You want, again, it's partnership, all of that good stuff.
That's good, man. That's good. What you got, Lakeisha? You got anything you want to say on that?
Nah, I was just agreeing with everything that he was saying, and partnering the personality with the love language, and not only let you know who you are, but it also lets you know how to respond to the person you loving. And so I think that is key to know it both ways, to know all levels of it, so that you can be able to love them the same way we expect people to love us in a certain way and go with our language. Then we will know how to respond to them, and even know that it's a match or it's not. You know, if this is a good fit or it's not. So yeah, kudos to everything that they were saying.
Yeah, that's good. And what you just said was key, Keisha. Is, you know, even excited about this getting on tonight to be able to see how I can better our relationships, you know, to know, you know, each and every last one of the orders. Because I didn't say I knew, you know, I probably knew like the first 2, you know, maybe the first 3, but it does no good if I don't know all of them to say, hey, this is why sometimes, because sometimes it can be a trigger for somebody else. You know, like if I'm trying to reach out and I need quality time to talk to Keisha and she answering the phone, I'm like, oh, like that can, you know what I'm saying? I could send me in a realizing, you know, like her first one ain't mine, you know? So now I know how to move and operate to say, hey, you know, what's going through something, I understand he might operate this way. So I need to meet that love language as in being physical touch. Like he going through something, he might need some words, even though words are very low, but he might need some words right now. So it teaches you, like you said, it teaches you how to operate when that person, you know, needs you in that time or not need you, but just understanding, like, I know how to operate now. I done wrote y'all's down. I'm gonna do my homework. So now when going through, man, look, we all gonna win.
Yeah, you need to know. Like I said, and I know we getting ready to wrap up. I've been like in prayer all week. Like I ain't gonna consider myself a prayer warrior or nothing like that, but I've been like yo, God, what's going on? Like it's just the energy. And
you are a prayer warrior. All of us are.
Yeah, and it's the body that I'm in. Thank God for APOC and the prayer calls that have been going on the last, you know, week and a half. I'm encouraging everybody. Like this is like this love language doesn't just pertain to your life, just what goes on with the people that you know, the people that you may come in contact with. Like it literally, like Willie just said, I just wrote all these down because if people don't catch on to this and start to understand this for themselves, emotions will drive this country literally to hell. In a sense, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, because and if we stand by and watch, it's because we're disconnected. You're disconnected. And that means that you're trying to worry about your space when your space affects the entire world. There is no seclusion in this. So you're not understanding this and learning this just for your own relationships. Somebody needs, this was not something if somebody had gave me this in college, my life would be totally different. If somebody had stepped in and gave me this in middle school, I would not have gotten married at 18. No disrespect to my ex or in the church, but I would have been able to think for myself. I would have been able to understand, you know what I'm saying, Royce? I would have been able to understand I was marrying based on a need. So we gonna go deeper than that, because on the languages is different than the 6 basic human needs. Those are the beliefs that drive the vehicle of emotions. Now, the languages very much so trigger emotions. That's why you do need to know them, because if somebody start cussing at you, you may not be a fighter. You may be in church. You may be saved and all of that. Let somebody come out and slap you and call you out your name. That's a whole language and a whole vibration. And guess what? If you don't know how to prepare yourself, or you don't know how to at least get into the space where you can prevent it, meaning I can see it from a distance, I recognize that it don't have to go that far. But when you're totally oblivious to the other languages and people that are different than you, that communicate different than you, that so much so that you demand that people speak the language that you speak. You demand that they reciprocate the love that you give. That's not the world we live in. We got to respect the space, and everybody has a process, one, to learning these languages. Everybody's going to have a process to understanding, okay, why am I like this? That means your spouse, that means your kids. We all got to kind of give people room to go through their growth process, okay? But our part is sharing this information, because once people are aware, you can't go back. Once you know the languages, ain't no more excuses about why is this happening to me? It's about how much are you paying attention or how much are you not? That's what it come down to. You know, you're going to go through that phase of feeling stupid. This ain't working. No. You practicing. You're practicing learning the language. That's what you call. No, if you give them a gift and they give you back a good thank you and a bunch of words, they don't return the gift.